Liv, back for some real talk.
I'm Liv.
And I'm Leonie, and this is Real
Talk.
Oh, hello.
Oh, the harmony. The harmony. We're getting better.
Absolutely. So I have some news.
Do you? Tell me.
So
tell me and all our listeners. I love it. This is how you break news to me these days. What's going on?
I save stories for the pod.
Okay,
so you know how my kids have always gone from the early learning centre at our school through to prep at the same school. Feeder. We actually, now with Charlie starting prep next year, we've decided to change schools.
Oh my goodness.
So this is groundbreaking because it's not something that we expected.
You don't like change at the best of times.
I don't like change.
So please explain.
So basically, I mean, we're so late in the year that I was already gearing up for next year at the same school and it's all happening. But we had an opportunity to interview at a school nearby, and it's a school that has a high school that we were hoping our children will get into eventually. And so I sort of thought, wouldn't it just be easier if they can get into the school, because it's quite a competitive school. The sooner the better, and then we don't have to be like freaking out for like year 7 entry, will they get in or not? And it becomes more and more competitive as time goes on, right? And so I was thinking about it. I think you'd even come over for lunch, I think, at one point, and we'd been discussing schools. And I said, ideally, we'd like this other school for high school at some point, but it's so competitive and it's probably not going to happen for us anytime soon. And literally, I feel like 2 weeks later, we got the call saying, would you like to interview at this new school? So we went in, we interviewed. It was actually quite a rigorous interview process, as in they tested the children as well.
When you said interview, I was like, I need to understand what are they looking for?
So, and also to those listening today, as you can tell, we are talking about schools and prep and starting school.
Okay, well, there we go. Surprise. Here we are.
I just launched straight into the topic. But basically, it was quite intense. So we got called for the interview. I then asked I know a number of parents who have children at that school. So I was like, give me the heads up on this interview process, because we had an interview with the dean there. And they said they will ask.
The dean?
With the dean. Yeah. It's very legit process.
Right, okay, right, all right.
Anyway, so I was like, okay, so they're like, they will ask the child questions. Yeah. They will test their knowledge, and then they'll basically just suss the parents and see if you're legit or not.
What are we talking? Like, what's the capital of Argentina? Is that for like a 5-year-old?
How is this? So basically what I was told was what Charlie experienced. However, I've got some other stories from other people who sat at the similar interview and it was hectic. For Charlie, it was more like as he goes into prep, so he's 5 at the moment, they were more like, okay, Charlie, if you start at 5, count to 10 from there. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to write the letter A. And they don't say what is this letter? Okay. And then they go and they write a B. What is this? Okay. C, D. And so he's like, write your name, Charlie. He writes his name. Okay, so if you're at 10 and I want you to get back to 1, how do you do that? Can you count for me? So I was literally like, come on, Charlie, you've got this. I was like, my God, this is
all
a
of this,
lot.
I would have just paid to watch your facial expression of wanting to help. But I have full confidence in my gorgeous godson, Charlie. Thank you very much. That he nailed this.
Could I please tell you the funniest thing before we even started the interview process? So Charlie is my youngest, to those listening, and Noah is my older. He's the very vivacious, charismatic, will say hi to everyone in the room.
Mama.
And Charlie's a little bit more reserved. Yeah. So I said to Charlie before we went to meet with the dean, now you're going to meet with someone and you've got to speak up, be loud, and make sure they say hi, you look them in the eye and you say hi, because often he'll just look down. Yeah. I'm like, you need to we're going to, come on, child, we're going to get this. So anyway, we walk in to the reception area and they were like, oh, hi. And I'm like, just here for Charlie's interview, thanks. And they're like, oh, hi, Charlie. And Charlie looks down. And I'm like, Charlie. It's like, look up.
Had you thought about bribery?
Oh, yeah, no, he was going to get something from Kmart if he was going to be, there was all that going on in the background. So then I go to the bathroom real quick before the dean comes out and I take Charlie with me. I'm like, Charlie, you know how they said hello and you look down? We're not doing that. You've got to look up and smile. It's called rude if you look down. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, you need to speak clearly. And, because he'll often
he would have been picking up on your energy to mate, this is not the time.
You are representing us and you are, anyway, so we get there. The dean comes out. Hi, Charlie. And Charlie's like, hello, really loud and clear. Anyway, we sit on the couch in the dean's room and he turns to Charlie and is like, how's your day, mate, Charlie? And Charlie, I think, was so overwhelmed by like new room, random guy. Mum told me I have to speak loudly that he was like kind of sucking on some saliva. And then when he went to speak, all this like drool comes dripping down his chin. And I was like, Charlie. And he's like, I'm going to talk. And John's just like, what's going on? I'm like, Charlie, I'm like, get tissues. I'm like, we're wiping his face. And the dean's kind of like, is he okay?
Foaming at the mouth.
Basically. And Charlie's like,
Charlie.
good, yes, good. And then after that, he kicked off and he was fine. But it was this
so
weird
proud.
drool situation. I was like, this is new.
Isn't bad things can happen in times of great stress.
And nervy and all that.
Yeah.
But he did well. And then he had to draw an image of the family. But a friend of mine who also recently got into the same school, like she was like, someone different interviewed her and they had an experience where they were literally like, cool, so draw your entire family and write your family's names next to each person, their names. And she's like, my kid can barely write his own name. They still got into the school, so it's okay. But it was a lot more rigorous. And so these are the things to expect depending on,
And so
on
they're
which
obviously
school
just doing that to work out where their base level understanding and skill is.
Yeah, look, I think so, and then there's actually it's quite a process because then this particular school, a member of I think the head of junior school or someone in the team goes to our school.
The dean's assistant. I don't know what other names have they got.
But we'll actually go and monitor, like go for a day or a couple of hours to the ELC classroom and.
Where he currently is.
Yes, and observe his behaviour. Just to, I don't know, it must have to do something with the transition. I don't know, but they're documenting a lot of things.
This might be what you're paying for, honey. Let's cut to it.
Right. So long story short, it's really bizarre because with Noah, a lot of the ELC children in his classroom ended up migrating to the prep classroom and it was all very seamless. Yeah. Only a few left the school. With Charlie, I'm going to say 1/4 of the his cohort are leaving and most are actually, funnily enough, going to the school that we're going to and a few are going to others.
Well,
he's got a few friends, which is the one thing for him where he's a little bit more reserved. I'm just thrilled about. So
well, that's exciting for you and it does take a whole heap of stress out because there's a lot of families are already feeling the stress with kids in primary school about, if they're considering, private or Catholic schools or even, in some of the public schools that you have to be on a wait list for. Yes. It is hugely stressful. We start talking about school in Australia in most of these cities when they're born, right?
Yes,
Putting them on wait lists, it's just absolutely freaking crazy. So I am super pleased to hear that. And it's so nice that Charlie's going to have some buddies to transition across.
Yes, this is true. But now Leonie gets to navigate 2 different schools until I get my other child
Are they
into
close
this
by?
school. Well, without traffic, it took 7 minutes without traffic. But with traffic, double it. But you're also...
Oh my God, I'm just like, the WhatsApp group, school WhatsApp groups, like, oh my goodness.
Funnily enough, there are a couple of families in the similar position with 2 kids at different schools. So we'll make
You're
it
the queen of
work.
multitasking.
Oh gosh.
Different uniforms, different setup.
Give me another challenge.
We should be
Let's
able to
go.
compare environments in many ways too. Like I think there'll be lots of benefits of experiencing 2 different school environments.
I think so. One thing I'm really excited about is that the current school that my kids are at is a smaller school. This new school that they're going to is double the cohort. So it's just a lot
more
bigger.
friends. Is that what you're thinking?
More friends, more mum friends, more social activities. I'm like,
Good
hit
stuff.
me up. I'm ready to go. Like, let's see who's who in the zoo. I'm ready for
fun.
it. So
fun.
I do know a couple of familiar faces, like I said, but I think there's something so exciting about meeting new people.
Yeah, especially in the community that you're a part of. To meet a few more will be good fun.
Tell me about Harry. So you've got one going into prep as well.
Yeah, so...
Does he know people going into prep?
I mean, it's been interesting with Harry too because both of my boys are January boys. So the first decision we actually had to make was, is Harry ready to go in? You obviously have to be 5. I think by the end of April it is. And I think for any parent who has a child born, I don't know, December through to April, because it is a decision that you can make, you think more about it. I've probably overthought it a lot more with Harry too. Tommy had a lot more friends transitioning into prep, and that gave me a lot of confidence for, they say they need to be socially ready. So I was really confident because of his support network he would be. Whereas to answer your question, no, Harry doesn't have as many friends going to the school that he will be going to. And I want him to be really ready. He's going. We have made that decision, but it was one that we consulted a number of different people through kinder and his daycare to make sure that we were making the best decision for him, because he has friends who he currently spends a lot of time with who will not be going to prep next year. They are a little bit younger than what he is. And I think that probably weighed into my mind too, because I wanted him to stay with them. They've been his best buds for a couple of years. So, and Harry's the sort of kid that once he's got one or two friends, they're the only one or two friends.
Like a Charlie for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm so excited for him to be going to school and making some new friends. But that's where all of our work is going at the moment, kind of preparing for him to do that. But it'll be the same school that Tommy goes. So, it's nice that it's a bit more familiar. I might, with some of the new, I met a whole heap of the the prep parents a couple of weeks ago, and I was already like, I'll show you the way.
Yes. Are there many that have, that from Tommy's
No, most of them are all new.
Okay.
So it's their first child going into prep.
Right.
So I will be able to show them the
go.
ways of the local primary school
social
and the
chair
trivia
over here.
nights and all the other fun stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a hugely exciting time. We just did a big order of all his school uniform and all the rest of it, which was my pause in thinking, oh my God, had you organised uniform
thank
for
goodness
Charlie?
we hadn't.
No.
Although he had all of Noah's that he's grown out of, but
I actually pulled a whole heap of Toms out. I'm like, there's paint on this one, and I feel. I mean, we're lucky with two boys that they get to share a lot of their clothes anyway. But I was like, I probably for the first time ever should buy Harry some of his own clothes rather than his hand-me-downs from his brothers that are just tatty as hell. So anyway, no, super exciting.
How are you feeling about not having the daycare schedule anymore? Because that's glorious.
Just the cash that will be saved
is not glorious,
is probably the best.
Absolutely.
Like what we're going to save not having
huge.
the daycare expense is going to be huge. So
Yeah.
I look forward to having an extra holiday next year or
Yes.
putting it away for a rainy day or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hit the door, close that door on the daycare centre for the last time, because we've been there since 2019. So what's that, coming into 7 years? Yeah, seven years at this daycare centre.
But will you miss being able to pick him up at 6 o'clock if you want to?
Yes. I mean, yes and no. It is. I mean, it's just the next chapter and the next challenge. We're just continually going to get different challenges.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have lots of help, so it won't be as challenging for us.
Do you use after school care much?
We do use after school care, so that will exist obviously before school care. Mum and dad, flexibility with work, we'll just kind of make it work.
Yep.
I'm just looking forward to them both being in the same place. So whatever
so
one
much
does, the other one
easier.
does, because that's a real
Yes.
challenge at the moment where that they go to different places. So.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say, I look forward to that too. But now that I'm like, no, your kids are going
you
to
go
different
different
places.
places.
This is going to be you.
It's funny, Harry was saying to Tom the other day, Tommy, I get to play with you at lunchtime now. And Tom said, no, you don't. The preps play on that playground. You're not going to be playing with me. I'm like, Tom, we're going to have to work on that, because Harry thinks he's going to school to hang out with his big brother because he's absolutely obsessed with him.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Anyway, exciting times.
Absolutely. I want to finish on a note for those who are just going into prep next year, first-time parents. What advice would you have for them on the transition? Anything come to mind?
Do you know what's coming to mind? Lunchboxes and the level of planning that is required.
You're always stressed about lunchboxes.
Does anyone else stretch about lunchboxes? Can we put this on ask the audience?
that's a question,
what
definitely.
What are the hacks? I don't know, lunchboxes. I have a calendar now on what are they doing on each day, what day's sports class, when you're going to have to pack the special, being familiar with that, but then also just connecting with the school community and making new friends and saying yes to whatever invite that you get, because it's another great village, I think, that we've now got access to. There's a couple of mums that help me get Tommy to basketball now who I met in prep, and we all do our very best to help each other. So that's what's really exciting. What else?
I think for me, talking about knowing what is happening each day, one thing I always do is I actually get the kids' bags like I put them by the front door
Yeah.
with like the swimming bag next to it
The night
of
before.
an evening. Yeah, the night
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
even down to socks in shoes, because the number of times we've been scrambling for like, where's the other sock?
Yeah.
Just have it all there. So in the morning you can just get
On
them
the
out
same
the door.
uniform,
Do you do that?
uniform is
Yes.
in
yeah,
in a
uniform's
pile.
out.
It
Yep.
is ready. They just pick it up. They get through,
Yes.
and we've definitely had to limit TV in the morning a little bit more too. Otherwise, nothing gets done, and I am yelling, before we've even got out the door.
Right.
And you get into work and you say, "I've already run a marathon before I've even sat at my desk at 8:30 in the morning."
Someone
Like,
give me a
it's-
bloody medal.
Someone say you're doing a good job. Oh God,
Yes,
yeah. No,
that-
you just got to be organised.
Being organised and having snacks on you at all times. I feel like by the time
That
I
never
pick them up,
changes. We learned that. We learned that 5 years ago.
so you have you probably got them in your pockets now, Liv.
And shout out to Maggie Dent, the old favourite.
Yes.
But with boys, we've spoken about this episodes and episodes ago.
Yeah.
They don't, well, my boys, it's proven true, and Maggie has this in her book.
Yeah.
Boys don't typically do number twos at school. So often they are desperate to get home straight after school so that they can do their number twos. Let me tell you, sorry boys if you ever listen to this when you're 21, but that is absolutely true for both of them.
Okay.
So I'm always very mindful of, we're going home, so like get your, does anyone need to go to the bathroom,
These are all the
there you
things
go.
to look out for,
That's a
people.
great tip I've got. If you're a mum of boys, get them home to
Keep it moving. Keep
for
it
the
moving.
privacy. They're a bit like their fathers, right? Who just like to take their
Good 20
time. and-
minutes.
Exactly. Privacy. No one else in their space.
No, love it. Well, we'll leave it there, Liv, and we'll catch you next time.
See you.